So, ladies and gentlemen, thousands of the Burkinabe citizens continue to pour to the streets to show their solidarity and support for the Faso Mebo project. Is it in the physical job and the donation of money? And some people are equally donating while they are also contributing physically in the development of the Faso Mebo Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has actually come out and he has spoken about the Faso Mebo Initiative and what it is all about. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us listen to what the great Captain Ibrahim Traoré had to say about the Faso Mebo project.
With a budget of around 200 billion CFA francs, the mission is to pave up to 5,000 kilometers of road per year. This batch of equipment was handed over to the initiative's coordinator by the president of Faso. As you can see in these images, the president of Faso is symbolically handing over the keys to this batch of equipment to the coordinator of the presidential initiative, Faso Mebo. Now, I suggest we listen to Captain Traoré.
This is the beginning of the revolution of our infrastructure. This is what led to the creation of this initiative. If in the West or elsewhere, in small countries without resources, they have paved departmental roads, there's no reason why in Burkina Faso we cannot pave our own roads, especially since we have all the resources right here. That's why we decided to create the initiative to move very quickly so we can build our roads, our highways as well, and connect our different cities. Because in the situation we're currently experiencing, the soldiers, the fighters on the ground need roads now more than ever. You can ask them, their top priority right now is the road. And it contributes greatly to reclaiming the territory, I'd say more than 50%. So to support them as well, we need to build a lot of roads. And on top of that, whether it's our producers, our transporters, our merchants, everyone needs roads. And this initiative's mission is to make that possible. It's a vast program. This is only about a fifth, I would say, of the equipment that's expected. In the first phase, which is an investment of around 200 billion, and the second phase will follow, which will be the asphalting part, and the pace will depend on what the people want, because very soon we will give them an update on the situation. The goal is to be able to asphalt between 3,000 and 5,000 kilometers each year in Burkina Faso. And I hope that we can start the work very soon for the happiness of the Burkina people.
We once heard the Botswana president said stuff like everything the Captain Ibrahim Traoré sees in Burkina Faso is actually law and order.
Making uncanny comparisons with Paul Kagame, my good friend Ibrahim Traoré. And I say, some of these folks are operating in a slightly different environment, where their word is obeyed instantly, without question. It's a different environment. You say, this guy is not doing things. Traoré is doing them. Traoré wakes up, dreams them up. Following morning, he makes a pronouncement. It is law. It is policy. Action follows. And I wake up and I say stuff, they look at me and say, what is this man talking about? We need to take it through this stage and that stage and put it to tender, float the tender. It takes 2 years, then we evaluate, then there are complaints, and there's an interdict. We wait another 4 years. By that time, you have to go and account to the people, and they remove you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of Botswana actually said once upon a time that everything the Captain Ibrahim Traoré says in Burkina Faso is law and order. And if you see the way the citizens of Burkina Faso are ready to back him up and support him in everything, you know, it's just unimaginable. And the proof is in the pudding. This man is transparent. This man is so accountable to the letter. Everything that is doing is out in the books. Everybody knows what they are doing. The citizens are being carried along. You know, Burkina Faso is a place where people contribute and they know what they are contributing for. And there is a time frame for every project. For every project in Burkina Faso, you don't hear stuff like, okay, we're going to start this in January, it's going to end in July, and you get to July, they're telling you, okay, it's about, we end it in December. You don't hear things like that in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is the place where they say this project ends in 3 months, and 3 months it is. Look at the road construction. It's also part of the Faso Mebo project. The industrialization in Burkina Faso is also part of the Faso Mebo Initiative. The agro-pastoral offensive initiative is part of the Faso Mebo project. The development of the agricultural sector in Bobo de la Soul is part of the Faso Mebo project. So the word Faso Mebo is like taking Burkina Faso to the next level. So the citizens get to build their destiny by themselves, get to build their future. If I won't mind being in a country where the government is transparent and honest, and they say, okay, come out and dig some sites or do something. I'm ready to go down and get dirty, get my hands dirty to do things for a government that is actually straightforward. It makes everybody feel like they are part of the government. That's why you see a lot of people that are actually very dedicated to this thing, because they can see that the government is working hand in hand with the people. The citizens are not even talking if this government is a transitional government or whatsoever. They are ruling themselves. According to what we heard, that Burkina Faso is actually executing this project with Burkina Faso internally generated revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let me deceive you. Burkina Faso citizens contribute a lot to most of this development that you are seeing. In fact, when Captain Ibrahim Traoré went to Russia, I was seeing on the Burkina Faso, Telegram channel, some citizens were even saying that they saw one particular launcher and the ballistics on top of the launcher. They were saying Captain Ibrahim Traoré should help them ask how much that weapon is that they want to have one in Burkina Faso. When Captain Ibrahim Traoré speaks in Burkina Faso, he's not just speaking. Understand that once he says something, he has 100% backup of the Burkinabes. To speak is the mouthpiece of the Burkinabes. And because of the solidarity, because of the unity in Burkina Faso, a lot of things are being done at God's speed. No political party, no opposition. This whole democratic thing, it only leaves the nation in shambles. Enmity, resistance group. Before you know, the resistance starts financing, terrorism to destabilize and to show that the government of the day is not capable of ruling properly, and they will get, different, dirty tactics just to make sure they get to that power. But in Burkina Faso, power does not even mean anything in Burkina Faso, because everybody is involved in the power process. And you can see, even the prisoners, they are involved in the Faso Mebo project. They come out to contribute their own part to it, clean the gutters, build Burkina Faso by the day. And this is what we all want in our communities in Africa. So ladies and gentlemen, give me your opinion on what you think about this. It's your boy 7200 signing out, enough said. But before I go, I actually miss you guys, but I'm back. And I'm happy to announce to you guys that I'm actually on my annual leave. So we will get to drop a lot of solid information for you now that I'm actually on my annual leave. And a lot of people said I placed June instead of July this morning. When you do overnight call duties and all of that, sometimes it affects your coming back from the hospital, getting home and try to put something out there for you guys that is actually latest and all of that. Sometimes we can make mistakes, right? So it's not easy for me combining both my job with this as just something I love doing. I did this for many years before I even came to YouTube. I do this for free on so many other platforms. So I just brought it to YouTube of recent, and I hope you guys appreciate our work. I love you guys. It's your boy 7200 signing out. But before I go, salute.